Okay, friends, we're going to go over the comp plan a little deeper, a little more, maybe a little deeper. It depends on what everybody on here is wanting. So I'm going to leave it on gallery. I guess this is how it's going to show up on the recording, but it helps me to see your faces sometimes, see if I'm really making sense. So I'm going to leave it here for a little bit. First of all, as always, I'm going to remind you, the 2023 income disclosure is in your virtual office under member resources, under policies, I think, but it is there. So, or you can just Google Young Living 2023 income disclosure page. As of the law, because of the Federal Trade Commission, we're required to show that or point you to it anytime we talk about business. So, and it's so, I still am fascinated every time I go and look. So that's just where you need to be. Okay, last week I showed you the sample commission summary. Do we need to go over this again, or are you good with that? Do we go on? Okay. If we have questions on it, you can ask. The next thing is the unilevel bonus. Is everybody familiar with the unilevel bonus? Okay, so we get the 5 levels. Our first 5 levels get 8%, and then 5%, 4%, 4%, 4% on our first 5 levels under us. That is the basic unilevel bonus that is across the board. So that never changes except when it's added to. So we get at least a minimum of this. The only caveat is when someone is newly enrolled the first 3 months, the enroller gets that enroller bonus. And when that enroller bonus is paid out, then this commission for those 3 months that enroller bonus is paid out, this commission is void. It does not happen those 3 months because Young Living is paying a lot, 50% the first month and 25% the next 2 months. So they're not going to pay the commissions those 3 months. Other than that, you're going to get this unilevel bonus all the time, every month. Okay. We talked about this because some were a little bit confused, levels and legs. So every person, this is you at the top. You can name yourself. You can draw it out yourself. Amy will draw it a lot prettier than this when she does it. It's going to be colored and it's going to be fancy and it's going to be fun to look at. Forget it. This is where we are today. So here you are at the top and you have 1, 2, 3, 4 legs. Each of these that you have that you're sponsoring, you may not be their enroller. Your enroller may have given them to you. Your sponsor may have given them to you as for your leg, but you are their sponsor. So your first level directly under you is level 1. So you have 4 people here on your level 1, 4 legs, but then you have levels under each one. See, this one and this one, they love their products, but they're kind of shy. They don't share with anybody. They've never talked to anybody about it. So these 2 legs are still your legs, but they only have 1 level, just level 1. But here, this one shared with 2 of their friends. So that's level 1, and the people they shared with and enrolled is your level 2. Does that make sense? So this is your level 1, you're sponsoring them, and then they have 2 other people, and that's your level 2. But look over here at this bad boy. You enrolled him, so that's your level 1, but they enrolled 1, 2, 3. This year, they've already enrolled 3 people. And the one of them they enrolled 2 people herself, and 3 people, I'm sorry, I messed up here. This should be a 3. I messed all of that up, and you get to see me correct all of these because I messed up 1. Amy would have done this on her iPad and it would have been really quick and simple, but I had to erase it with my finger. So we have level 3 there. She has that, and then 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 6, and 6. Does that make sense? So these are your levels in this 1 leg. These people are enrolling. So you get, as a unilevel bonus, you get paid 1, 2, 3, for 5 levels down. 8% on up here, 5% here, 4%, 4%, and 4%. But you know what? You still have people down here. Don't you want to get paid on them too? I'm not sure what the split broadcaster is showing up on here. Oh well. So you want to get paid on these, and that's why you keep growing, because the according to your rank is how you grow. Before I go any further, does anybody have any questions so far on just the levels, the legs, the unilevel bonus? Is all of that, are you understanding all of that so far? I'm not getting any response, so I assume so. I can't tell if there's any. At what point does it count as a leg? These are all legs. As soon as you sponsor them, or as soon as they're in your group, they are your legs. There is a difference in a leg and a qualifying leg. And Linda and I talked about that this week, actually. So let's say that you enrolled this one, or you have this one, you're sponsoring him, and he has these 2 or these 3 under him, but he didn't place an order this month. And they didn't place an order, or this one, these aren't counting, but this one didn't place an order this month, but this one did. So this one has a full qualifying leg if they are at the rank, to be at the rank they're supposed to. I'll show you this when let me show you on the ranks. Because if you have to have a qualifying leg for you to hit your rank. So, okay. Let's say you want to hit executive. You see this? You want to hit executive. You need 100 CV, which is customer volume. That is you and all of the customers in your first level. So your first level, you and your customers has to have a total of at least 100 CV. You may not have to order any. If your customers order, not your brand partners, but if your customers order, then you don't even have to, which to me, it's crazy. I cannot imagine going a month without these products. I cannot imagine going 1 month without ordering Linksha. It's beyond me. I mean, my family thrives on it. So I don't get it, but you can, for commission's sake, if your people, if your customers have a qualifying 100 CV, you don't even have to. But to hit executive, you have to have 100 CV plus 4,000 OGV, which is a total of organization group volume. Counting you and everybody in your organization, a total of 4,000. But then the caveat to it is you have to have 2 legs. So let's pull these legs back up here. You have to have 2 legs. So let's see. Let's make it this one and this one. You have to have 2 legs that total, each of them have to have 1,000 OGV, each of them. So if you have, let's say that this over here doesn't even exist. So this is all you have right now. But you want to hit executive. You have to have an overall group volume of 4,000 and 2 legs of 1,000. That would be really hard to get with this. This person here would have to, since he doesn't have anybody under him, he would have to order that amount himself. That he have to order that 1,000 OGV, and it's happened. There have been times that people buy the Aroma Complete, or now it's called something else, but the big kit that's over $2,000. So that does happen. So some people hit executive 1 time because of something like this. So if he orders 1,000, and then altogether here, they just really wanted a lot of products. So their total was 1,000, but the whole, or it had to be over because the whole thing has to be at least 4 counting yours. So between you and all of them, you total 4,000 OGV. That's everything that everybody buys. But this leg has to have 4,000 and this leg has to have 4,000 to hit executive. But it has to be in a qualifying leg. So if this can have 4,000, but if that person has not ordered, then it's not qualifying. Let's say this one did, but that doesn't qualify the rest of this. So you have to have one qualifying leg. You have to, all of these have to be qualifying. That means somebody in that group has to have ordered their 100. Does that make sense? Is it confusing? You have questions? Seriously, right now is the time to ask if I've confused you. Nope, we're okay. All right, so let's look at this to remind you where you are. Okay, does anyone volunteer and say, I'm trying to hit so-and-so rank? Is anyone here trying to hit a rank right now? No one? Okay. I think you're all lying to me. I think you're just silent.
I am getting back to silver. I'm not trying, I am, so.
Okay, so Sarah is planning to get back to silver, and I'm not expecting anything less. Absolutely. This is what she's going to have. To be a silver, she has to have 100 PV. Sarah, are you going to order your 100 PV?
Yes, ma'am.
Plus, I'm not even going to ask how much more. She's going to have her 100 PV. She has to have 1,000 OGV. Her entire organization has to have 10,000, has to have 10,000 OGV. Her whole group, her order, plus everybody else in her organization has to total at least 10,000. And then she has to have something else. At silver, you have to have personal group volume. That means she has to have 1,000 PV that's in no silver leg. She can't have any silvers under her. Or if she has silvers under her, other than those silvers, she has to have an additional 1,000. I cannot tell you how many times I've gotten phone calls from people saying, I know I hit silver. I know I did. And I didn't get a silver check. What happened? And when I looked back, their PGV was like 800 and something or 900 and something. They didn't pay attention. You have to pay attention, because without that 1,000 PGV, and that is all the way down these ranks from silver, without that, you're not qualified. Yes.
I'm sorry. So the PG, how does that accumulate? Is that the people on your first leg? Those are the people you signed up? No.
No.
Okay.
It is anybody in your organization that's
Okay.
not under a silver leg. So if,
oh, okay.
I
So you
thought
don't
it
have to
was
worry.
anyone that wasn't in your qualifying legs.
not in your, I'm sorry, what?
So like I have to have 2 legs at, God, I'm so tired right now. I can't tell you.
You have to have 2 legs at 4,000.
At 4,000. I thought my PGV was anything outside of those 2 legs.
So we need to look that up. I thought it was anything other than your silvers. So that's something we need to look up.
Because I don't have silvers on my leg, and my PGV is never the same as my OGV. My PGV is what is on my front leg that isn't in my qualifying legs.
Okay.
So like right now, my OGV is scheduled to be around 5,000, 5,500, something like that. And my PGV is predicted to be just like 1049.
Okay, then we need to look that up, because for years it was other than your silver, but we didn't talk about qualifying legs at that time. I mean, it was qualifying. So we will have to look that one up, because I'm not sure about that now, Sarah. So
Sorry for the confusion, but
no, these are things that we need to look at, because I don't want anyone to miss that 1,000. I've had too many times, I've seen it happen too many times that somebody didn't qualify because they just didn't have the PGV.
and my understanding is that's why having wider than what you need for your rank is so important.
Yes.
If from the way I understood it.
Yes.
So yeah,
It's just extra OGV that's not going to be put under someone else. So I guess we just need to look that up. So it looks like I will have to redo this video. Oh, and did I record? Did I hit record? Yes, we are recording. I couldn't remember. Sue, did you hear that question? Were you on here?
I did, and I commented. That is correct. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So if you have let's say we have 4 legs, but you only need 2 for silver. The other 2 legs. Yeah, or let's say you have 3 legs. The 2 that qualify you to silver, the other one is your PGV. It's qualifying legs. It's not just silver because I have 1 leg that's not silver, but I have 2 silvers in that leg. And none of that OGV counts for my PGV. It's only, can you hear me? Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
qualifying
Okay, then I am corrected.
legs that will qualify you to gold. You better have enough PGV somewhere else or you're not qualifying.
And I'm sorry, but this happens often, more times than anybody realizes. If you build really deep and not at all wide, then that Sarah's right, that is your danger. It just, I hate to get those phone calls.
Every so often when I sign somebody up, I just put them right under my first leg again, even if I don't, like, that's a great place to have a loyalty customer, even if they're not, you know, you don't think they'll ever be interested in the business, which we don't assume, but you know. If you have that person on your front line and you have them hooked on Ninja Red, then you're gonna usually have 200 PV out of them on your, that would be your PGV, towards your PGV.
Okay, does this all make sense to you? Is it totally confusing? Okay, so she's trying to hit silver, so she needs 100 PV. That's her own order. She needs 10,000 OGV. That's everybody in her organization. And she needs 1,000 PGV, personal group volume, and 2 legs that are at 4,000. But those 2 legs have to be qualifying legs. She can have that 4,000 in each one. But if somebody there at the top has not placed an order, then she's not going to make it. So it has to be qualifying legs. And she will get paid 5 levels plus 2 generations. So what that means, here I am with my marker board. Amy, if you just were in Texas, you could help me with this. So she gets paid 5 levels, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's the levels. She'll get paid the unilevel on these. Remember the unilevel? So she gets paid 8, 5, 4, 4, and 4 on here. But now she gets the generation. So she has her personal generation, that's 2.5%. And that is the legs that do not have a silver. There's no silver there. And it can be a silver like on the 3rd or 4th level down. And the first 2 levels she still gets that generation. But once there's a silver somewhere, everybody under that is a new generation. So if she doesn't have any silvers, then she's going to have a personal generation of 2.5%. And what that's going to do, this 8% now turns to 8 plus 2.5%. This adds the 2.5%. Every one of these adds the 2.5%. But that's not all. When she gets a silver, let's say here, this one becomes a silver. Then she's going to get her first generation. As a silver, she can have 2, which is amazing. So now she has this. These people have, so that's level 4, level 5, level 6, level 7. So she's going to get paid the unilevel on all the way through level 5. But then she's going to pick up these next 2 levels down here at 3%. Does that make sense? So now she's going to get paid on all of this with another 3%. If 3% doesn't sound like much, 2.5% doesn't sound like much, but let's say your group has grown to 20,000 people. That's a lot of money. So we look back at this, at the sample commission summary, and we see the personal generation here was $779. The generations was $24,675. $24,000 on that 3%. Is that incredible? So when somebody mentions generations, you want them all, sweetie. You want all of them. Because the difference between the money that you're going to get in when you hit higher ranks, let's say the difference between some people, the difference between platinum and diamond may be $1,000. It may be 1,200 or 4,000. It can be anywhere. Just depends on how big their organization is and how it's structured. Sometimes it's $8,000 or $9,000 between platinum and diamond. That's a lot of money in a month. So you never want to miss those generations. The reason that they add that extra $9,000 is because there's so many people enrolled at the bottom that you're not getting paid on. So if I don't hit diamond, then I have thousands of dollars left in the bank that I'm not getting paid because I don't pick up those generations. I don't pick up those next levels at the bottom is what it amounts to. So I can have 25,000 members, but what if I only get paid on 15,000? Then that's another 10,000. You know, that's a lot of money that you're just leaving in the bank. You want to keep advancing in rank because when you advance in rank, you pick up generations, and that means you get paid on more levels. That's all it means. You just get paid on more levels. Is this making sense? Do you have any questions? Questions get me in trouble, but we need them. No, nobody? Okay.
I don't have a question, but I have something that I would say to beginners, to people. We have to have our legs. We have to have growing legs. But I really believe in insurance, that if you go wide at the beginning, it saves you. You don't have to worry about that CV. It is just so significant to go wide, in my opinion. Like, I think everyone should have at least 12 wide. That doesn't, so there's ways to think about it, but I definitely think that you absolutely will be safer if you go wide and then start going deep. I have solid structure, and the comp plan has changed 12 million times since I started. But because I think my number's closer. But I'm telling you, if you go wide and then you start going deep, you will not regret it.
I'm going to second what you're saying, Dana, because that was how we were all taught to build way back. So we all built. So my check was always incredible, regardless of what my rank was. Well, then I tried to rank up and the world was doing great stuff. So I took all these people off my level 1 so that I could rank up to platinum. Well, then the world fell apart. And I truly believe if I had just left people on my first level, that my check would be much better than it is now. So I agree.
I will
It's
tell you,
recession proof.
it's all a gamble. Where your structure is always a gamble, and it's never guaranteed. In the beginning, when we first started building, we had this amazing bonus. And that's why they taught us to build wide, because that's the only way you could get that bonus. And it was significant. It was at least a couple of $1,000s a month. And for us starting off, that was big. And so we built to that bonus. But people started cheating the system, and they finally took the bonus away from us. I mean, people were saying they enrolled so-and-so, and come find out it was their dog. They were giving dogs names to enroll. It was fraud. It was bad. But they took the bonus away. And then everyone started seeing that you could build deep. And it's legitimate. You can't, I mean, I fought it for a long time, but it is definitely legitimate that if you build deep in a certain way, in a certain time, it pays off. But Nicole is right. And when the economy is rough, you know, you like it close to you because that's where you feel secure. And it's the same way. I mean, you look at the stock market, you look at any kind of investments, you want everything as close to you as you can get it. When you don't want to be real liberal with what you're doing with your investments. You want to be pretty conservative. So there's different thoughts on this, and it's something you have to decide for yourself. Anything else? No? Everybody up to par? Can you now teach?
Can you talk a little bit more about why you would make it, like why it's more beneficial to make it wider? Like
Right.
to have them on the first level?
Okay, I'm gonna let Nicole and Dana do that because they're the ones that brought it up.
All right.
Why do you see this?
I feel like it for me personally, Amy, because you're always going to make 8% on that first level. And those are always, or not 99.9% of the time, there are people that you signed up, so they stay. So when people began to leave and leave companies and mess up all where I had made all my nice legs, if I had been wide and so that I guaranteed, because Dana said 12 people, I easily had 25, 30 people on my level 1. I wish I still left 20 people on my level 1. It would always be an 8% plus because of other stuff that happens, but that's a guaranteed. And then you were living on this salary. If it's not money you live on, then you can be riskier and go
I
deep.
second what you say because
Yeah.
it's 8%. Also, for anyone who logs onto Virtual Office, when you log into your office, you can truly only focus hardcore on your first level. That's who you immediately see. And those are the people that I'm immediately going to invest in. I see their names every single day, so they are front of my mind. Then after that, I have to start searching for people. So when they're on my first level, the search is already done for me. Does that make sense? But I have good structure.
Yeah, it will take longer to rank up because you're not going deep.
There are so many ways to look at it. I'm telling y'all my preference. My preference is I'm a tortoise, I'm not a hare.
Ditto.
I'm in this for the long haul.
Ditto.
And so long haul, I want to see my money.
Well, it also
And
gives you
then-
money to reinvest in your business and to give away oils and stuff that you can't if all you're doing is building deep because your check is smaller for a long time.
And then
Not
I'm teaching people,
necessarily. You can't just lay that out. It depends on
you
the.
can't.
Right, you're right. It depends on who
You
those-
got to flip a coin and then know that you got the wrong one. You should have got tails when you got heads. Like that's just sort of the way it is.
If you enroll 6 people on your front level and all 6 of them are mighty builders and sticking with it, and then you have an extra 4 besides those 6, that is really, really good structure because these 6 are builders.
Yeah.
That is the difference. If you have people on your that, and my first level is not where my builders were. That's not the beginning. In most of the cases, they didn't make the first level did not make me diamond. It was usually the 3rd level under. So I can't just look at my first level because I enroll them, but then they enroll people and they enroll people, and somebody under there decided to, oh, this is legitimate. Let me build. And they're the ones that caused me to hit diamond. So I can't just say you have to build wide for it to be financial.
I agree. I am going to say though right now, because there are people on here who are diamonds, there are people on here who are gold, but there are people on here who are just getting started. And I want to tell you, this sounds all cuckoo. And this sounds like a space that you're not going to get to. And this is where my little ADHD brain just used to check out because I could not see that far ahead. But I'm telling you right now, stay with me. You don't have to stay with understanding all of this, but if you stick with it, all of a sudden you're going to accidentally have some person show up that starts building that you never anticipated. And it might take 4 years and it might take 5 years, but I promise you they're going to come, and it's never going to be the person that you thought it was going to be. Never. It's never going to be that person. You're going to have wishes and you're going to have plans and you're going to have hopes for people, and they're going to piss it away. and you're going to feel defeated. And then you're going to have people show up like your own freaking daughter in the other room who just keeps showing up. And never in a million years would I have put money on Amy.
Never in a million
So-
years would I put that money on Dana, because I tried to get her in this. And what did she do? She threw the oils away that I gave her.
I threw them in the garbage, y'all. And it took me 8 years. And I just want y'all to know I am worth the wait. I am worth the wait. And
you are.
you've got a Dana somewhere that's worth the wait. So if you stick with it and you keep showing up to meetings and you keep getting discouraged and you keep getting frustrated, you keep getting jealous, and you keep getting little wins and big losses, but you don't stop, I promise you that you will have a Dana that shows up too, who does not know the compensation plan, but still makes you freaking money. Okay. Does that make any sense to anybody? Don't walk away. You don't have time in the day to walk away. It's not going to be worth it. Young Living is going to screw you over. Your upline is going to screw you over. Your crossline is going to screw you over. The products are going to go out of stock. And I promise you, it will still be worth it. It will pay off. It will absolutely pay off. That's all. I'm sorry.
And there are going to be times that you just are sick because, oh, I shouldn't have put her there. If I'd only known, I'm losing this much money. Oh, forget it. It's done. I mean, seriously, there was a time that used to eat on me that I'm losing all this money. No, I'm making money. Forget what I'm losing. That becomes, seriously, is a poverty mentality. And that is not what we want to draw to us. We want to draw people to us that really have hope and have plans. We don't want to draw people to us that pout and have complaints. But if that's who we are, what we're doing, that's what we're attracting.
One more thing, I agree. One more thing I'm going to say is that for a long time, you're going to spend more than you make.
Yeah.
And you better keep spending more than you make, because that's how you know the product. That's how you become in love with the product. Don't be a cheapskate. Don't figure out where you can cut the money out somewhere else. And you keep buying Young Living's products like it's your job, because it is. And then eventually you're going to be like, oh my God, I make more than I spend. And you're going to crap a brick. And then all of a sudden you're going to make even more. It's just going to happen. It doesn't end. Just don't give up. Okay. I really am done this time.
Who believes her?
Okay.
She's been telling me this for 40 years.
So I have to say, I love that girl's certainty. And that's how I want to sound in front of people, certain of what I know. So good job, Dana.
It's going to be rough. But you have to think of it, what we've said many, many, many times. It is a business. Do you actually see it as a business? If you went out and invested in a Chick-fil-A, how much money would you have to invest? Every week you would be trying to make a profit from that. But for the first few years, you're going to be in the red. Even the IRS expects you to not make a profit for the first 5 years. In any business, not an MLM, but in any business, small business, they don't expect you to make any profit for the first 5 years. So if they don't expect us to make a profit, we can look back and say, oh, no, I'm still building. This isn't profitable yet, but it's coming. And it's shocking when it happens. It's totally shocking. But it does happen. When you get that first check for $1,000, it shocks you.
And when your partner tells you that you're not making any money and you're just spending money, tell them that they understand the IRS, right? Like they are right. Like validate your whiny partners. Yes, in fact, I'm not making a dime. You are correct. You and the IRS both know it. And so we can move forward from there, because now you can get along with the government, buddy.
Okay. So these first few years, we're not planning to make a profit. We're hoping to, but we know if we don't, we're investing. Everything you do right now is investing in your future. What do you have in mind for 10 years down the road? Think about it. 10 years down the road. Ooh, I'll be almost 77 years old. 10 years down the road, where will you be? Can you invest? I don't remember when I started, I was 52 years old. I had never had a job. I had never done anything. But I had this vision in the next 10 years. Didn't want to be broke. I wanted to have something to live my life on from now on, that I wouldn't be broke. And so I had this tunnel vision that I'm investing money, I'm investing time, I'm investing emotions, I'm investing everything to get to that point. I was hungry. So who is hungry here? I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Okay, what do you want to talk about? What will help you here? Do you understand generations? The main thing, okay, that's okay. You get it. You get that there's more money, more levels. The main thing is that you understand the bonuses, the fast start bonus, and the what is it called? The bundle. I don't remember what it's called. The bonus bundle, or what is it called? The $25. Somebody help me.
The
There's
starter
Bundle?
Sure.
What? We have the fast start bonus, which is
Could it
50%.
be the starter bundle?
The starter bundle, but there's a bonus that goes with that, the $25.
Enrollment, the enrollment bonus?
An enrollment bonus, the $25.
Enrollment bonus.
If you enroll someone with one of the bundles, then you get the $25. So we have to be able to share those two bonuses with people. And then if we can just share with them what CV is, PV, OGV, what legs are, what a sponsor and enroller are. We just need to be able to share the basics. Can you teach a class with those basics? What's a sponsor? What's an enroller? What's a leg? What are levels? What is OGV? What is PV and CV? These are the very basic things that you can teach a business class with. You can teach your friends. You don't have to. Very, very few times will you ever need to teach about generations. I chose to do it now because I thought there would be some people that were interested in it. But the vast majority, you're just going to need those basic things to talk about. Can you teach that? If you think in your mind, I'm missing a piece of it, tell us now and let's help you with it.
I can teach that. Also, I want to say that it's gorgeous whenever you sometimes have to phone a friend, because it lets them know that they also have permission to phone a friend.
Right.
So they don't have to know it all. And so I always get all of the language mixed up. And so I always phone a friend and they come in, they dig me out of the hole. And it's just so, it builds trust and it builds confidence. So they know they don't have to be experts. And they also know that they can trust that you aren't going to BS them. You will find someone else who's smarter than you in that situation to
And it makes them feel like you're one of
affirm
them.
it.
You're like me.
100%, because we are.
Yes, exactly. Okay, anyone else? At what point we got that one. Any other questions? I'm not going to post this on the website because it's mostly discussion. So we will just finish here with whatever discussion you want to do on this. Everybody have total understanding of this. What can we help you with here? How can we help you structure or build? Do you have questions that will make a difference? My grandson's out here in the window waving at me. Okay, if y'all are satisfied, then we'll just stop here and I'll go play with my grandson. But I
have a question. I have
Okay.
a question.
Go with it, Ames.
I just need ideas for. Okay, so I can't drive, and I mean I know I have got people that can drive me places, but what are some things that I can just do here as of now, because I can't go places all the time.
Okay, anybody want to brainstorm with Amy, things that she can do? Now we have to, Amy, you have to give yourself a little space because next week is the surgery.
Yeah, well, I want to be able to do something. because I just
Well,
I don't feel like I'm
there's
getting
no
anything
reason
done.
that you can there's no reason you can't own the pediatric oncology, neurology, neurosurgeons at Mayo Clinics. How credible would that be if they were on your in your downline and you've already become their bosses? And so when you get out of surgery and you're smelling peppermint, then at this point in your life that now you're going to turn that into income where you just make them sign up because you're mean anyway. And so you just tell them what to do. They tell you what to do and then you tell them what to do. And you are going to be the first person who owns Mayo Clinic's doctors. No reason not to. Maddie said, yes, yes, queen.
Well, I'm amazed because of all the people that say they're building and do nothing. This is an 18-year-old preparing for brain surgery next week, but she also, what can I do before that and after that? What can I do? I mean, I think she has an excuse not to. Other people find excuses. She has one or a reason or whatever, but she's not using it.
I'm
She just-
done. I'm done like giving excuses for all of it. I can do something. That's what keeps
Absolutely.
me human.
How about teach a class online? Because you can do that from where you're sitting right now. Just go
What?
live on Facebook.
What do you want to teach? Some of us would get on the class with you, but at that time, you could invite some of your friends. You could invite anybody to join that class. So that's something, that's a good point, Sue. She could teach a class.
What's your favorite topic? What's your favorite product?
I just like makeup a lot.
Okay, we're not going with makeup, Amy.
Yeah, I mean,
Have a
and
starter kit.
Starter kit, yes.
I don't know much about the star kit. Maybe I need to do some research myself.
Have a bunch of
one
starter
thing Mom
kits.
just
There's a
mentioned is the
bunch of 'em.
peppermint. Peppermint's what
Yes,
changed the
peppermint's
world.
great. Is it okay to just tell the same stuff over and over again?
Absolutely. Repetition absolutely helps people learn. And so many people will listen and that's the first time they'll hear it. Yes, peppermint is your friend.
Amy, I
Inside.
feel like they'll listen to you because you have a story. Tell them about what peppermint have done for you, how it helped with your nausea, all that right after your surgery. So you're on a gold mine. Use it.
And I have a Zoom account you can use. You can do a Zoom class with my account. And then we don't have to record it. So you don't have to worry about being compliant because what Linda just said is not compliant.
But I would go on Facebook Live first.
As well. Compliant.
And
I thought that you was compliant as long as you're telling somebody something about you, how it affected you as a person.
It just
That's not
depends on how
so?
you say it. It depends on
Okay. Thank you, honey. Don't do that. I don't want you to get in trouble.
Worst case
Her story
scenario,
is
you delete it afterwards. Stories go away in 24 hours. And Amy, I talked about Ningxia Red for about 6 months. People still sign up when I talk about Ningxia Red because they didn't hear it the first 6 months I talked about it. Talk about peppermint every day if that's what you love. Whatever you love, talk about it. And then tell them how to get it from you with your number and your link. And share it everywhere.
Go for it, Amy. Let's see what you can do before you have brain surgery next week. Show all of us what we're lacking with excuses.
You're so brave.
Amy, you can tell them about my one cat that loves peppermint. And so, yeah, she does. And it's good for her digestion. I don't care what anyone says. You can use that story. You're welcome.
Okay, Amy has really just put a challenge out to all of us. Seriously. Who's going to take this challenge? She has no excuses, but she's ready. Yes, I see you, Melissa. You want to take the challenge? Yeah. Let's see who's going to have a class this week.
Yeah, just have a class because I mean, excuses are just I mean, yeah, they're sometimes And sometimes they're valid, but most of the time they're just an easy way out. And that's coming from
Well, I
someone
feel
living
shamed,
with
so
a
I'm
brain
having a
tumor.
class this week.
You what, Dana?
I feel shamed, so I'm having a class this week, and I'll be dipped if my kid beats me.
Well, y'all are both gonna beat me because I have grandchildren here and I'm not having a class this week. Oh,
And
wait.
no matter who,
You did.
and no matter
I
who I
know.
sign up, I will not put them under Amy this week.
We know
Oh,
better.
that is so wrong. That is so wrong.
We know better.
So I have a question.
Yes,
I went to a training yesterday, and one of the things they talked about is the opportunity to build. I know in the past I have not brought this up at any of the classes or events I've had, and so that's my challenge, is to talk to people. So yesterday someone was babysitting my son, a single mom. She knows I do oils. I've invited her to some of our events. She has not signed up because there's just the finances not there to be able to pick up. But I spoke to her yesterday about buying the brand partner kit. She's willing to do that. What other tips or suggestions? She cannot purchase right now, but she can do that. How do I move forward? She's willing to host a class. So I was thinking, well, if those who come sign up under her, what does that look like moving forward? She says, I don't want to promote. I don't want to be online. I will invite people and you come and do your thing.
But she has to make a purchase in order
She does.
to
Okay.
to make money.
Yeah,
And
well,
that's-
something has that CV. So
Yeah. Yeah,
Which
that's
is
what I meant to say. She
people
can't
under-
just have the brand partner kit and not. Yeah,
Okay,
that-
so what if people who show up that day say, well, why don't you get me a lavender and a lemon? We can put that. I'm just trying to get creative to help mama put her first order in.
Okay, do any of you know Karen Douglas? She's one of the top paid distributors in Young Living. And Karen didn't want to build. She did not want to build, but Deborah Rayburn at the time, Deborah's husband died. She asked several of us to host her to have a class, and only Karen Douglas, Karen and her husband Chris at the time, he passed away when she hit gold. Right after she hit gold, he died, and she left her with that check. But Karen never built anything. She opened her house up for Deborah to come. Deborah would do classes and then put everybody under Karen because she needed that leg. Karen ended up, to this day, one of the top paying diamonds in Young Living, and she never built. Now she will. She's had lots of classes since then, but in the beginning, she was just a very gracious woman. And I mean, I just always remember that you give and it will be given back to you. And she opened up her house to this widow that was just asking for help. And by opening up her house and allowing Deborah to do classes, she became wealthy. I mean, she has plenty of money. So yeah, you can do it that way. And especially if the people that come to her house are her friends that she invites, they all go under her. Anybody else?
I have a question.
Yes.
I've been with Young Living since like 2014, and really maybe even before that. I'm a star. And how do you how do you talk about the business opportunity when you're not yet making money?
That's always the question when people get started, because in the beginning, not one of us made money when we started talking about it. We weren't making any money. We just had a vision of the possibility of it. So it's kind of, you want to do this with me. You know, I'm doing this now. I have a vision. I see the possibilities, and I'm looking for people to walk with me and join me in this journey. Is this something you may be interested in?
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
I started Young Living in 2001, but I didn't start building until 2008. So it was that many years before I ever did anything with this as a business. So you're not too late.
Yeah. And I've been talking about, I would say I've been building for years, but I'm the most inconsistent person on the planet. And that's my biggest, I have been the most inconsistent person on the planet. I'm trying to make a change. And so I know that's a big part of it. And then I have this mental block of like, well, I've been doing it this long and I'm still stuck. Like, how can I lead? Sorry, I'm an emotional person.
That's
It
okay.
took me 8 years. 8 years. You're not too far gone. No one is, if anyone is looking at you and saying, well, she's been in it this long and she hadn't done anything, those aren't your people. Screw them. Those are not your folks. You are just on time. You just showed up to this class just in time. And you got just the information you needed today. And you're not too late. You're absolutely not. You're not late to the class.
What the word you used was you've not been consistent. That's where you start. You start today being consistent. And with some people, especially your family members, close people that have known you've been in this for a long time, it may take you 4 years to get them to realize, oh, she's really serious now. It's okay. They don't have to be convinced. You have to be convinced. Only you have to be convinced. Even your spouse doesn't have to be convinced. But that once these people see that you are being consistent, whatever that is for you, then they will start believing you and believing in you. But you have to have that belief in yourself first.
My brother is one of my very favorite people on the planet. I've told this story so many times. My brother is texting me right now. We talk almost every single day. He worships the ground I walk on and adores my kids. He is not a member.
And he's my son.
If I had waited on him, I'd be poor. Right? So it's not always the people that you're closest to that are going to do it. It's rarely the people that you're closest to.
I mean, remember my daughter, Dana Dunn, that threw the products away? You know.
So what would you say are the top 3 things that I need to be doing to grow? Like just the top 3, like consistently. Obviously I need to talk about the products, I'm sure. I have a really small home, so having people in my home is not really an option. But I know, I mean,
how small are we talking? How small are we talking?
Like 1,000 square feet.
Mine was 1,100 square feet when I started building, and
Okay.
crowded in. When anything that, if anybody came over, we just knew this is how it is. And do you know that people are not intimidated to do it themselves because they came to my little bitty 1,100 square foot house and I had classes.
And you don't have to have a clean house.
That was my next thought.
You don't have to have a clean house, and you don't have to serve food, because then if you have a perfectly clean house, you start serving food, then they're going to think that they have to have a perfectly clean house and they have to serve food. No. So you bring them into your mess, and if it's
clutter
really
off the couch, get the clutter off the couch.
off, but that's all. And then if your stove is dirty, have them help you clean it with thieves cleaner, right? Like use the crew. But you don't have to have a clean house, and you don't have to have extra space, and you do not serve food.
That's good.
Because all of that is duplicatable, and you want people to come in and look at what you're doing. And when they drive off, they say, well, if she can do that, I can do it. It's that simple. If she can do it, I can do it. That's what we want people to say. We don't want people to see us as leaders and as people that are really smart and that have all the answers. We want people to see us as just like them. If she can do it, I can do it. That's what builds the business. It's never when you start telling people what to do, how to do it, what to order, and when to order. It's when you can be one of them and they say, if she can do it, I can do it.
You have to have people, you have to meet with people. It's a referral business, and people tend to forget this. When you meet with people, you need to ask them for referrals.
Yes.
Because your market's going to run out real fast. But if you're asking everyone else for their market, it doesn't run out. So you have a class. Did you enjoy this? Yes. Did you get something from it? Absolutely. Would you be willing to get 3 or 4 people together? And every time you have to ask for referrals. Otherwise, your market runs out immediately.
And if
Yeah.
they say they don't want to have a class, then fall back on the word referral. Well, can you just refer 3 people to me that I can invite them? Do you know 3 people that actually could use some help with their allergies right now? Well, yeah. Are you in Texas? Absolutely. So that the referrals are the big thing. And a lot of times they will have it in their class. I will let you use my class, but I'm my house, but I don't want to do this as a business. That's fine. Use that house. But consistency is your only friend right now.
Mhm.
And it's going to take months of consistency to make a difference. So that's where you have to decide that you have a vision to do it to the long haul. Does
Thank you
this
so
help anyone?
Yes.
See, we really see possibilities for you because we know who we were. Now we look like leaders sometimes. Most of the time we just look like everybody else. That's who we want to look like. Leaders should be leaders among other leaders. And I see several of my leaders on here, which is amazing. And they look at me and they see several of their leaders on here.
We're going to have power hour tomorrow. Also, Monday. Central Standard Time is at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. where we do solid income producing activities, led activities.
Andre
that's
will tell you what to do. You don't have to wonder.
I
Are
was the old,
cats invited?
duh, Dana, look at her participating. She's always on this. Okay.
I was
She does.
asking for a friend. I was asking
Okay.
for a friend.
Oh, I thought you meant my cat. Okay. Yes. But yeah, tomorrow, and I'll post that in a little bit on Green Diamonds.
Power Hour is powerful because it does give us camaraderie. I wouldn't have known Linda Velasquez. I wouldn't have known you if it hadn't been for Power Hour.
Melissa, this is one of those things that you ask, what are 3 things? This is one of the 3 things that you should do. Is every week you should be on Power Hour. Because even if you're not successful on it, you don't know what to, like it's not working out for you for the first few weeks, because sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the question, like, it's just overwhelming, but the camaraderie, the connection, and the consistency and showing up together, it will pay off.
Yes.
And you get to see Andrea's cats every single time.
Also, I'd like to add something. Like the consistency, there's that, but then also like you're going to notice eventually if it doesn't work out for you, and sometimes by piecing those things together, you'll find out what actually does work for you.
Well, girls, it is right at 5 o'clock. So we're going to close this out. How did you do your enzymes for allergies specifically yesterday? Yesterday? I don't understand that question. I have allergies. I do use Allerzyme. I'm so sorry to say that I've been out of it for 3 days, 3 solid days with no Allerzyme. It should arrive tomorrow. But I've taken a lot of Detoxzyme when I have not had that during this time, but I'm not sure specifically yesterday. What was yesterday? I don't know. I don't understand that question. But that's what I do for my allergies. I do a lot of Allerzyme. And that's why I'm out, because I don't measure out 2 or 3. Oh, when I posted my yard, was that yesterday? I thought it was a couple of days ago. I used a lot of, because I don't have Allerzyme now, but I use a lot of Allerzyme, and I use the CBD Soothe roll-on. I don't know if anybody's tried it, but it is so great. It's for respiratory. So I put it here, I put it down my ears, I put it on my chest, and it's great because right now, whatever is in the air is messing up my eyes more than anything. This week it's been my eyes. I circle it around my eyes, and immediately I have relief. So that CBD Soothe, I didn't know it was so great until this week, but it has been a savior for me this week. So yeah, I use all the stuff I can.
I just go back to the basics and like with lavender, I just circle that around my eyes when I have allergies and it always helps me.
Well, I've tried that a lot, but my eyes are really bad and it hasn't given me any relief this time. But the CBD Soothe has. So you try it. If it doesn't work, you try something else. That used to work, but it didn't this time. So yes, and of course I use the mask. And that's it. Okay, it is 5 o'clock. I will see you at Power Hour in the morning at 9 Central Time with Andrea so she can tell me what to do. I like to be told what to do. So we'll see you then. Bye.